like science.
I like science.
I like science.
Fuck, let's get this over with. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Shield Modulation, where we take random episodes and or movies and or shorts of Star Trek and review them one at a time, once a week. And we're going to be doing this for what, another 19 years? Is that it?
Something like that. I think it works out to like 17 years to get
Oh, I
through
see.
all of Star Trek, but then if they make more Star Trek, it'll just add
Yeah.
more episodes in the long run.
Well, they will be making more Star Trek, of course.
Right.
So
Yeah, we have Starfleet Academy coming.
in 2026, which is not that far away. It's October. Yeah, and it actually looks like October outside because it's been summer, and then the last 2 days have been fall.
Thunderstorm and rain.
Yep. So I'm not complaining because we had such a dry summer. But anyway, you don't need to hear about all this. So we're here to talk about Star Trek Into Darkness, my least favorite thing as far as the list of things that we have to review. And I can't say that it improved upon me during this rewatch. This is the third time I've watched it.
Wow. Oh
For
yeah,
you,
because
I
you
think
watched
it's
it. You hate
second.
watched it in bits. We did a commentary for it,
Yeah.
and then we watched it again for this.
Yeah. You were trying to back out of watching it again, but it had been so long since we'd seen it that we had to
Which
do
is
it.
funny because it did grow on me a little bit, but I still don't like it.
Excuse me. There's just too much that there's not enough plot, frankly.
I would say there's too much.
No, I would say that there's a lot of action, but there isn't really a lot of plot.
Well, that's the action and plot they're very similar. Well, same with movement. There's not a lot of story.
There we go. That's the right word. Thank you. So take that back. Not plot, story. There's not a lot of story here. It's just basically a spectacle. It was created to be a spectacle, and a spectacle is what it is. Regardless of how you feel about it, I can at least say that. I will say it looks fantastic in 4K.
Right.
Like unbelievable. So
yeah, it's a visual feast for the most part. In other
Yeah.
parts, not so much.
Not so
And I
much.
guess we'll get into that when we get into that.
Yeah. Well, we have, of course, the cold open.
Oh, we're getting right into it, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't want to talk about having to see this on your birth, or no, it wasn't this on your
No.
birthday. It was the original Star Trek.
It was just Star Trek 2009 that we saw on my birthday, and I was so in hopes that it would be good, and I was unfortunately so disappointed.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of our friends really enjoyed it, and then we watched it and it was like, this? You enjoyed this?
You enjoyed this? This makes no sense. Red matter to create a red hole? What the fuck?
Well, we'll get into the Abrams writing kind of stuff. I think it's something that gets leveled at Lindelof. Though I'm hot and cold on Lindelof because he wrote the Watchmen television series, which is really good.
Really good, yeah.
So it's kind of odd that, he's hit and miss. And also, I guess he script doctored the World War Z movie because it was going to be worse than it ended up being. He saved the ending somehow. So
yeah, actually, I remember watching that. I just remember a lot of zombies and the World Health Organization basically being shut down, except for a few people that were still trying to fix things, etc. It wasn't the worst zombie movie I've ever seen. It also wasn't the best.
Yeah.
It was just kind of
Yeah, it was fine, I guess. People say as a zombie movie, it just shouldn't have been called World War Z because it isn't the book.
No.
The book should have been a series and done like a mockumentary or something like that.
Exactly. And you know what? The audiobook of that is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a lot of famous people, like Alan fucking Aldo was one of the voices on the audiobook. Just fantastic stuff. And also, you know, a lot of this is tongue in cheek because that's what Max Brooks does.
Yep.
And that none of that was in the movie. It was like, did you guys misunderstand the assignment here? Because what you made is not this.
We have a Doppler in the house.
Doppler! Hi, little Doppler.
I think the thunder has brought him inside.
Yeah, can't blame him.
Yep.
So yeah, then when I guess I don't remember how long ago it was, but it was a while. I decided everybody's like, oh no, but you should watch Into Darkness, and I'm like, I don't want to. I didn't like 2009. Why would I watch this?
Yeah,
And so
I
I
don't
tried. Sorry, go ahead.
know of anybody who liked Into Darkness. Why would they recommend you see it?
Patrick likes it.
Oh, does he?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Patrick likes it. No disrespect.
Okay. Yeah, people like what they like.
Mhm.
That's, I mean, taste
Yeah,
and art is subjective. So,
yeah.
yeah,
So I decided, okay, I'm going to try to watch this, and I started it, and I turned it off 15 minutes later,
yeah,
and then and then I tried again. It took me about 3 weeks,
yeah.
um, girding my loins and trying to get through another 15 minutes at a time. And so it took me a total of 3 weeks. I wasn't watching every day because every time I watched, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going back to that for a while. And so that's why it took, you know, the span of 3 weeks. I wasn't watching every day. And I absolutely hated it. But the one thing that I did like, for some reason, I don't know why, but when Uhura goes and talks to the Klingons, I was like a little turned on. and, and I'm just like, oh, I guess I do like Zoe Saldana.
She does assertive well
She does.
because her as was it Gamora
Hmm.
in the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, that role seems to be made for her.
Yeah. She was also very assertive in The Losers, which is
Yeah.
a unfortunately little known DC film that we also saw on my birthday, different birthday,
Mhm.
and
It
loved
was
it.
during that time where everything was washed out and grays and
Mm,
browns, and then suddenly we had this movie that
hmm.
had color in it,
Yes.
and it was refreshing in that respect, and a fun action movie besides that.
With hot, hot men. First time
Yep.
I saw Idris Elba,
Idris Elba, that guy with three names,
Jeffrey
Not
Dean
Harry
Morgan.
Dean Morgan, not
Is
Harry
that
Dean
it?
Stanton. That's a
Not
different
Harry Dean
guy.
Stanton, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey
Chris
Dean Morgan, right?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah.
Speaking of
Um,
Watchmen,
yeah. And Chris Evans.
yeah.
Chris Evans playing both sides of the fence.
Yeah. So yeah, it had some hot people in it. A
Yeah.
gratuitous shot of Zoe Saldana's butt in a mirror as she's jumping away from gunfire. So it
Hmm.
has that in it.
Yeah. But that's not Zoe's fault. So
No.
that is the thing, the best part of watching this movie was when I actually watched it the first time was discovering, oh no, Saldana is actually a really good actor, and I understand now that she's been typecast a lot.
Yeah, but she's nuanced in this, and you get a
Yes,
little
she's
bit of
very
vulnerability,
nuanced.
which she doesn't usually show.
Hmm.
So it showed her range
Yes.
in acting, and so I think that elevated her performance and
Yeah.
was one of the highlights of the movie.
Yeah. Listening to her speak in Klingon was dead sexy.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, let's just get into this fucking movie.
All right.
So, we start out with a cold open, right? And we see a robed and hooded figure running away from a bunch of people. Now, the colors in this opening are absolutely exquisite.
Yeah,
It's
it's
oh,
lots of reds and whites.
hmm.
It reminds me a bit of The Last of Us because it seems like a lot of lichen and fungus and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, and this robed figure running away with the scroll in hand, and it feels like the beginning to an Indiana Jones film.
It does a bit. But here's the thing. Why did he take the scroll?
There's no reason for it.
There is no explanation for that. Why did he take the scroll? Hello, fucking Prime Directive. What the
Yeah,
hell were you thinking?
And then he leaves it anyway, unscrolled. And because it's a scroll image of their deity, I guess,
I
when they see
guess.
it, they stop and kneel. So they stop
Hmm.
chasing him. And so it's an object he shouldn't steal in the first place,
Hmm.
used as a plot device so the people chasing him stop.
Hmm.
That's all it's there for. And it's a
Yep.
very Abrams Rise of Skywalker writing kind of thing to do,
Mm.
is
Yeah.
that you have a nonsensical thing written into the plot to like alter or move forward the action in a scene you've written to be kind of weird in the first place.
Mm. And
So
the
he did a nonsensical thing to do a nonsensical thing that he didn't even have to do in the first place.
He did not have to do that. And if he hadn't done that, would he have needed to run?
What were they doing there in the first place? Was it a distraction from the volcano? Was it to draw them out so they
I
wouldn't be hit
I
by
don't
the
know.
blast of the volcano? Because that
It
makes sense.
yeah, I
And if they
suppose
had
so.
written that or
But that
explained, hey, you're going to need to draw these people away from this place because it's going to be hit by this pyroclastic cloud or whatever.
well, see, that's the thing though. They're close enough to the fucking mountain that they can't run far enough, even with chasing Kirk, to get out of the range of that pyroclastic flow. So it's stupidity. It is stupidity. There is no reason for him to be running. There's no reason for him to have the scroll, and there's no reason for the natives to chase him. Ugh.
Hmm.
And
I
so,
I
mm,
might be laying my own street here.
mm.
Bringing my own asphalt so I can follow this road. But
Okay.
it's actually a term I forget who came up with it, but it was somebody on the Friends in Your Head, What Are You Doing movie podcast. But yeah, just laying your own street to, bringing stuff, reading into the film, helping the film along with something it didn't address, which is, yeah, maybe he did draw them away, and that's why he stole the scroll, which would make sense. And they do survive because we see them scribbling with the stick the image of the Enterprise as a new thing to worship. So yeah, they totally broke the Prime Directive and screwed this society over. That's going to be a part of their history now and their customs, and who knows how that's going to shape their development.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they survived the eruption.
They survived the eruption because of what Spock did in the
Right.
volcano. It had nothing to do with drawing them away. There was no reason for that at all.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the temple getting hit by anything. Because
Yeah,
if it
it
did, that
didn't.
would make sense. But I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's because Spock was in the volcano, and just as it was about to blow its top, the bomb thingy went off and froze everything.
Yeah. Hmm. This seems like an easy fix. It's just
Mm,
not there. And so what
no,
we have is something that doesn't make sense.
doesn't make sense, which is pretty much this whole movie. This
There's a
whole
lot of stuff
movie
that doesn't.
doesn't make
I mean,
sense.
it's just a lot of weird conveniences of weird little
It's like
things,
it's
little
like a
connective
10-year-old
tissue
boy wrote
from this and
it.
this. Well, yeah. Oh, that's the issue with stuff like Rise of Skywalker and similar Abrams things. Alias had a bit of this to it, which
Oh,
is
it
why I
did.
stopped watching.
Yeah, I
And
got bored
the
after
first
the
Star
first
Trek
season.
had this kind of thing, just things that are written conveniently
Hmm.
to move the story along or move the plot along. And when you stop, it doesn't make much sense. It's
Hmm.
like it might hold your attention maybe enough, just the action is enough to keep you going. But if you stop and think about it and you pull at a thread, it kind of just unravels. And we get a lot of that here.
Well, unfortunately, I'm always thinking. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So if a thread's to be pulled, you're going to pull at it.
oh, I'm
So
gonna pull at it and
yeah.
unravel that whole motherfucker.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Also, I don't care for the theme music. I don't care for
Yeah,
this
you weren't
minor
into the
chord
theme at
shit.
all.
I don't like it. It's just such a downer. And so is San Francisco and
Well,
Not Starfleet Academy, Starfleet headquarters. Like everything's gray.
London and San Francisco are indecipherable. They
Uh-huh.
look like the same city. The
Uh-huh.
art direction in this is so bleak.
Uh-huh.
The Starfleet uniforms they put in them are so fascist.
Fascist.
The gray, the brown, the military cap,
Oh, so bad.
they and the drab gray cities, they look like a fascist dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
That's the art direction that I'm getting from it. That's the design of the cities, that's the design of the uniforms. And so it comes across like Starfleet comes across as like an evil empire.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really get much of what Starfleet stands for, I don't think, in this. They really
Mm-mm.
don't talk about hope for the future or equality
Mm-mm.
or, they address a little bit of exploration with, I guess, Scotty when he resigns because of the torpedo situation.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, and we also have Spock talking to Kirk about the torpedo situation. But yeah, other than that, it's odd. It's an odd film.
Right. And then they put a different movie in this movie, which is
All
following
right.
the Doctor Who companion. I want to say his name was Mickey when he was in Doctor Who. Can't remember.
Right. I've seen him
We're
in other
following.
things like in dramas and stuff.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place in the UK. So yeah, he's going somewhere. We're following him and the music changes. Like
Uh-huh.
completely out of sync with any other music in this movie. It's
Uh,
like we are watching a different film.
it's very much like a different film. The tone is very serious. It feels like a family drama. The bedroom they're in is very contemporary.
Mm.
There's not a whole lot to suggest they're in the future. And so when they visit this hospital and you see these floating gurneys, it's like, oh, right, we're still in the same movie.
Yeah,
And yeah, when they go visit their sick daughter and
who's
the
obviously
doctors can't do
dying.
anything, yes.
Yeah.
And they
And
replace one plushie for another.
and then of course we get the Cumberbatch voice
Yep,
saying that he can save her.
yep,
And the thing is, I understand why a father or mother would do anything to save their child, to keep their child from suffering, to keep their child with them. I
right.
understand that. And they use that in this film so poorly. Just it's like you could have actually made this so much of a better story if we had followed a lot of that. But no, this is the only part of the movie I think that doesn't feel contrived, that actually
Yeah,
feels like something emotional, something that we can all understand, something that regardless of what year it is, we can identify with.
it feels like something out of a Mission Impossible film
Yeah, I guess a little.
where the bad guy gets in with somebody who has a mid to high level political position. It's what, some kind of archive that he works in,
That is not an archive.
but it's not an archive. But that's, it's actually as one of the Section 31 posts, I think.
Yeah, it's a section 31 manufacturing site, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's like schematics and stuff there for the design of torpedoes and the Dreadnought class starship. But yeah, the dad agrees to the terms to save his daughter, and part of that is to go and blow up this archive, and he does so with what looks like a glass of water and a ring that must react to the
Mm.
water and create a high intensity explosive. And as soon as he set a glass of water near a workstation, I was like, well,
Like,
that's
no,
weird.
that's
You
an
don't do
idiotic thing to
that.
do.
Yeah,
I mean,
anybody who works by computers and stuff, it's like you're authorized certain containers. It has to be like one of those sippy cups that you can close with the straw that you can close,
mhm.
or it's got to be a twist top lid.
Yep.
If you're bringing in coffee with, a loose plastic top or just a mug, it's like, no, you cannot have that at your workstation. And so
Yeah. And
that would
nobody
have
noticed. Nobody
raised
noticed, really?
alarms
Yeah.
immediately. It's like, what are you doing with the glass of water at your workstation?
What are they doing with a glass of water outside the break room? Let's be
Right.
honest.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, have a drink, but, be a twist top or a
Yep.
sippy cup.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, if he had a twisty cup and he twisted it open and then dumped in the ring,
Hmm.
but that it was a glass, just for the image of it. And this is an art direction thing too, is so you could see him drop in the ring.
Yeah.
That's what it was there for. You needed a transparent glass, so on film you could see him drop in the ring, even though it makes no sense to bring a glass of water to a workstation.
Especially at the start of your shift.
Yeah, start your shift, and everybody would be like, "What are you doing? You know you can't have open containers near your workstation."
Yeah. So of course everything goes kaboom, and now all of the higher ups. Oh, by the way,
Oh yeah,
we all skipped the whole part where
Yeah.
Pike takes Kirk to the shed and metaphorically whips him.
Which is his own damn fault for giving him a
It-
field promotion in the first place. Pike, you should
yes,
know better.
yes. You
Why did
took
you
a
even
guy.
make him a captain in the first
Yeah,
place, especially a captain of the flagship? What are you thinking?
he was a cadet that's
He was a cadet
promoted
you
to
made captain, and it's
captain.
bullshit.
Yeah, no.
Kirk
No,
needs to
thank
earn
you.
his stripes,
Yeah.
earn his position as captain. Otherwise, it's just white male privilege.
And
And he stinks of white male privilege
oh, he
in that
really
scene.
does. He really does. He just, I mean, even the beginning, like when we have to see him in bed with these two alien chicks and
Oh yeah, with their tiefling tails.
yeah, with their tiefling tails and whatnot. And just and later on when okay, here's the thing that there is so much double standard in clothing between men and women in this movie.
Oh, there's so much for the male gaze in this,
Mm-hmm.
as in Gaze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's just it's over the top and disgusting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, all the women are in skants, so they're in short skirts and short sleeves, while the
Yeah,
men
why are they in
are
short
in
sleeves?
full uniforms with, long sleeves and long pants.
Yeah, there's like maybe two women I saw in the entire
Yeah,
movie that had on long sleeves.
yeah.
Couldn't tell if they had a skirt on underneath, but it was just it was ugh, ugh,
I mean, yeah, it's
ugh.
reflective of the 1960s, but why? Why
Hmm.
did you have to do that?
You don't. It's tone deaf.
Yeah, Strange New World's not doing that,
It's just
really.
tone deaf. So yeah, so Pike is has the Enterprise taken away from him, and he's been bumped down to commander, and now he's
Ooh,
going to
one whole
be.
rank.
Oh
Boo.
yeah, oh,
I know he does get
and
threatened to go back to the academy, which he probably should.
yeah, and but I think he was supposed to go to the Bradbury, but Pike needed him to be his first officer for a bit, and of course they're going to have a meeting of all the bigwigs in one room. Why would you do that? You do that in an underground bunker after you've had a terrorist attack.
And our Gary Lou, who is Kirk in this,
Oh,
picks up
such a
on
Gary
somebody
Lou.
that nobody else in the room picks up on,
Hmm.
which is that the attack on the archive is just the beginning, that there's going to be attacks on other Starfleet buildings. And what better place than where there's all the high command centered around a war room
Hmm.
right out of Dr. Strangelove, is that they're gathered around that table with that oval ring light above them
Hmm.
as they're discussing hunting Harrison
Yeah,
down,
John Harrison.
John Harrison down because he's, made an enemy of all of Starfleet, and so it's going to be a manhunt. And yeah, it happens to be Kirk that's looking through images and is whispering to Pike,
Hmm.
and our RoboCop
Yeah, RoboCop.
calls out Kirk to address everyone. It's like, well, yeah, this guy's not done. This was the first of many attacks, and just then we get
Attacks.
this drop ship right out of
Aliens.
Aliens. I think the first appearance of them might have been in the Judge Dredd comics,
Well, fair. Fair.
2000 AD or whatever that's called.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
2000 AD.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this hovering helicopter like gunship shows up and starts blasting the room and taking out all these commanders and generals
Hmm.
and admirals and captains.
Yeah. And Kirk, of course, is quickly reacting uh while everybody else is just getting, shot to pieces. We don't even
Yep,
know how
shut up.
many people died, and probably a lot of the extras were just straight up dead.
Yeah, it took
And
out at least half of them.
And I know that RoboCop's name is actually Peter Weller, and I like
Yep.
Peter Weller very much, but we're just going to call him RoboCop because it's easier. RoboCop gone bad.
Yeah, Marcus, right?
Marcus, Admiral
Yeah.
Marcus, yes. And all of this is just to start a war. To start a war with people who aren't even coming at us.
Yep.
There have been some situations where people have gone into Klingon space and they reaped what they sowed
Yep.
because you're not supposed to go to Kronos, but dumb people did it anyway. And now Admiral Marcus has decided that he's going to exterminate the Klingons. And I'm like, good fucking luck, asshole.
Yeah, he's it it makes you wonder how much his plan and Khan's plans align
Mm-hmm.
and where the two of them separate. Because is the attack on the archive one of the reasons to get into war?
Yes, because it's a terrorist attack.
So, or is that Khan working independently once he broke from Marcus and is reaping his revenge?
Could be both.
It's unclear.
Yeah, it's not
It's
clear.
un
That's the thing. It's not clear.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, we don't, because you would think they would have to create an inciting event. And I guess the inciting event was sending the Enterprise to Kronos in the first place. But
Hmm.
they sent Enterprise to Kronos to go after Harrison. But Harrison had broken with Marcus by then. So that shouldn't help Marcus out. It's so nebulous
Hmm.
exactly where the plans align and do not align.
It doesn't make sense. There's no through line in this movie.
Yeah.
It's just let's just throw everything at this. Let's just throw everything at this and see what sticks. Wouldn't it be cool if we designed this giant spaceship and called it a dreadnought? And then, it would be pretty much undefeatable and have all these upgraded weapons and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
So,
torpedoes that can't be scanned by Klingon technology.
mhm. Anyway, so yeah, Pike dies. Fuck that.
Yeah, we get very little of Pike in this.
Mhm.
And even then, it's his his weird need to protect Kirk from the consequences of his choices.
Mhm.
It's odd.
Mhm.
And it's again stinks of privilege
Mhm.
that you have somebody in a position of power that can protect you from the consequences of your actions and decisions. And then how petulant he is when he's read to filth for breaking the Prime Directive, which he did.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's to save Spock, which in the first place, why they couldn't have launched this cold fusion bomb without Spock having to go into the volcano? I mean,
Yeah,
couldn't they do that
why?
remotely from a drone?
Couldn't they do it from underwater?
Yeah.
Because that's where the bases of the volcanoes are, is underwater.
Yeah, if
So,
they
but what
could
do I
have
know?
like used their phasers underwater to blast or drill a hole into the volcano to the lava to release it into the ocean and just expand the island without creating an eruption.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have solved the ongoing problem, though.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because it just doesn't make sense. That's basically going to be a phrase I use a lot
Well,
about this.
yeah, it's written for the drama, it's written for the action. And so you have, the scene with Spock going into the volcano, his cord snapping, the shuttle that's lowering him into the volcano, which in itself is like how people couldn't see that,
Exactly.
which would be another violation of the Prime Directive. It's not like they have cloaking technology
Hmm.
that they can't beam him out because there's too much interference between him and the lava, and they're not going to beam lava onto the transporter room. So Spock just resigns to dying, and of course that upsets Uhura because she thinks he just doesn't care enough about her to want to live, which isn't really the case. It's like more that he's just going to sacrifice himself, rather
Yeah.
than have everybody else risk their life trying to retrieve him. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like he doesn't understand um that's going to be the reaction because he's a dork. So, anyway, and I do not blame Uhura for getting very pissed off at him when he's back.
Yeah. Well, we get that scene in the shuttle when they're arguing too, and
Yeah,
he says, Vulcan was destroyed, and I felt great pain and sorrow and loss. He was also there when Pike died and did a meaningless mind meld on him. I don't know
yeah.
why.
Why was that scene even there?
And wasn't
Because
that
do we
invasive?
ever
Isn't it like more honorable to request permission to do a mind meld? Because it's so
exactly?
invasive
Yes.
that Pike's dying and you do a mind meld on a dying man. Why?
Yeah. Why? Why did you do that? If you're not
And
going to
yeah.
use anything that you got from him.
And so he's experienced death that way. So it's all odd. But yeah, he admits that yeah, he does care and he can turn it on and off. And he chose to turn it off in that instance because it was easier. Because he didn't want
Fair.
to feel that
I wonder
as
what
he was
that's
about
like
to die.
to what is it like to be able to turn it off? I have
Well, I
no
used to be
idea.
better at turning it off. I'm not as good as I used to be at turning on and off my emotions like that, which is probably for the best because what happens if you turn it off and you can never turn it back on again?
Oh, it's mine's stuck on and it's stuck at
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah, you
yeah.
turn it off and then you can't find the on switch. What's life like after that?
I don't know because I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
So, okay, what else pissed me off? Let's see here. All this whole Vulcans cannot lie bullshit.
Oh, yeah, they say that, what, 3 or 4 times in this?
At least twice. At
Yeah.
least twice that I remember. There might have been more.
All right, because of the report that Kirk lied on his
Mm-hmm.
report.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spock sent in a true report because Vulcans cannot lie.
Bullshit.
Yeah, even though he's half Vulcan, but we've addressed
Yeah.
that before.
And let's think about how many times Spock has lied, both in original series and in Discovery/Strange New Worlds, how he can find his way around the truth.
Yeah, it's not a lie, it's an exaggeration.
Yeah, it's still that's a lie. It's still a
Yeah.
lie. It's still a lie. It's untrue.
Or it's not a lie, it's an omission kind of
Yeah,
thing.
still untrue. It's
Yeah.
something that's still untrue. So this whole bullshit about Vulcans can't lie is just that. It's bullshit. Stop saying that. Yeah, what else pissed me off?
Well,
Okay.
there's a little bit of the racism towards Vulcans too.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk calls him pointy.
Yeah. Well, and there's always the stuff going on from McCoy.
And the whole subplot of them somehow being friends, and we don't see anything friendly between the two of them.
Not a thing.
They're always at odds with one another, always arguing, always having different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of friendship that's supposed to be, but
I
there
don't
doesn't
either.
seem to be any closeness between them. So this idea that one's gonna sacrifice themselves for the other or damage their reputation or their position in Starfleet by going back for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see the bond between them. They're relying on the bond of Spock and Kirk outside the Kelvin universe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big problem with Into Darkness is how much it's relying on the popularity of Wrath of Khan
Yep.
and of the original series when the whole point of the Kelvin universe was to do something different, is
And
to
then they
take these
didn't.
characters and explore new stories.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't particularly care for it because I don't like them blowing up Vulcan. I thought that was a bad thing to
Oh,
do.
that was when I knew that this was going to be shit.
Yeah.
So that
So,
was first
it's,
of all, don't put Winona Ryder in as Spock's mother. What the fuck were you thinking?
yeah,
Second of
in
all,
old
you're
age
blowing
makeup,
up,
which is pointless.
yeah. And the second, why are you blowing up Vulcan? Third, when they're like diving down to that platform to,
Uh-huh.
sever it so that they can get rid of this ship, and I'm just like, Is there no shuttle or ship or anything at Vulcan right now that can do that? Are
Think of
all of
how
your ships gone?
accurate starship phasers are. How they can hit things from a far distance.
Yeah.
They can't use starship phasers to shoot at the cable to a drill.
No, they can't.
And how is a mining vessel outnumbering and outgunning an entire Starfleet?
Because it's Romulan.
But that's a whole other movie. But
Yeah.
it's the same problems in a different film.
Yeah. And I've come to the conclusion that this Star Trek universe didn't just become a different timeline when the ship showed up. I can't remember what the name of it was, the mining ship.
Right. Yeah.
It was clearly already its own alternate universe because that's where Spock came from. And that's our prime Spock. So this universe is already an alternate universe. And yet they still are treating it like when Spock contacts Spock
Uh-huh.
and said, I'm not supposed to ask these things, but have you ever come across this guy? And then Spock tells him all this stuff. And I'm like, well, how do you know? This is a different universe, dude. Yes, you have a con here, but this is a different universe. You can't put all of your thoughts about your con on this con because this is not your con.
Yeah, it's the same con they would have maybe met in Space Seed or close to it.
Yeah,
but it's not the same con you'd meet in Wrath of Khan because you didn't get the SETI ills and all that situation. This would be pre that.
It still wouldn't be the same con either way because he's white.
Well, yeah, which was a bad decision on their part, bad casting decision. And everybody had assumed it anyway, and they kind of faked it by doing the John Harrison thing, which why not just do that? I guess they wanted to augment blood because that's part of their Deus Ex Machina sort of ending thing anyway.
Ugh.
But it could have been any other augment. Why did it have to be Khan?
Exactly. And that's just another thing that drove me crazy the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it.
White British guy who speaks with his whole mouth.
His whole face, Dave. His whole face.
But mostly his mouth, which opens as wide as it can for every syllable.
Yeah. So, but we kind of have a moment of sympathy for him when he's talking about how the Admiral took all of his people.
Yeah.
And we're basically holding them hostage. And
he assumed that they were all murdered.
Yeah. And then he found them and put them all in all of these torpedoes. And I'm like, and why was that a good idea? What the hell was that?
And how did nobody
about?
notice? How did he do this without not one person noticing?
That makes no sense.
Yeah, they just kind of hand wave it. It's like what you would think would be a secure facility where they're building this dreadnought ship and all these torpedoes. Somehow he manages to get all 72 of his fellow augments who are in frozen capsules to be encased in these torpedoes that they're building and put onto the Enterprise.
Why?
How?
Why and how?
How did he do this?
Yeah. Again,
is there
no sense.
No security on this facility? Nobody looking over Khan's shoulder this whole time?
Yeah, I don't care how superior his intellect is. You can't get people to just turn a blind eye to that. I mean, they've got to have cameras everywhere.
Right.
So
and when all the 72 augments disappear, do you think he just enlisted them on his team? There's no search for them because they only seem to be going after one guy, but all the augments are missing and nobody seems to be saying a word of it.
They forgot they had them, I guess. Oh, Dave.
Yeah.
This movie, it hurts me. It hurts me. It hurts me. Okay. Carol Marcus did not at any point need to be in her underwear.
No, I guess she was changing into a
I under
jumpsuit
I don't
to
care. Yeah, I understand what she was
dismantle,
doing. I understand
but
what she
why
was
couldn't she do that in her own quarters?
it. Yeah, she could have done that in her own quarters or some other compartment on whatever shuttle they were on.
Yeah,
There was no reason for her to just tell Kirk to turn his back. Like he's going to not peek. Girl,
yeah.
do you not understand, man?
I
Also, why is she British?
yeah, I guess J.J. Abrams has apologized for that, but it was really dumb just to
Mm,
put your this attractive actress in her underwear just to titillate,
hmm.
and that's all it's there for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's weird that she's British and her dad isn't, but that happens sometimes.
Yeah, but
You
she
know, a
must
child
spend.
goes off to live somewhere else. Maybe the mother's British,
Well, that's what I think. Is like she could be British, but she obviously has a relationship with her father.
right?
So how long has it been since she's seen him then?
Yeah,
And she didn't want him to know that she was on the Enterprise and she used her mother's maiden name.
right.
And I'm just like, I don't understand any of this. That wasn't necessary to make this woman British.
And
Actually,
the
it
way
wasn't it wasn't necessary to have Carol Marcus at all.
and it's weird how she got herself onto the Enterprise anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because Kirk just said that there's going to be a second science officer, and Spock looks like at him like, "What?" And then
Yeah.
this attractive blonde lady shows up. Did she just seduce her way onto the Enterprise by flirting with Kirk, and that's how she got on?
I don't think so. Because if that's what she had done, she wouldn't care about her seeing him and him seeing her in her underwear.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's just written for convenience sake.
Yeah. Why two science officers? The only place that works is the Cerritos.
Yeah, if you're sending her as an expert on their torpedoes, that makes sense. Make her a
Yeah.
weapons or tactical officer.
Hmm.
It's like, why a
So
science officer?
yeah. Let's see. I talked about that. I talked about that. I talked about that. Um, so here's a funny thing. When we see the Klingons, right? And we see them with their helmets off, what do they look like?
They look like a lot like the Klingons from Discovery.
Yes, they do. And yet, I did not see much outrage about that in this movie. But when it happened in Discovery, everybody lost their shit.
Yeah.
The fuck is that about?
I don't know, just disco hate.
Ugh, there's no reason for it. Discovery is a magnificent series, and I will hear no arguments against it. Let's see what else.
She's
Yeah,
reading her notes.
there was one point where I'm like, is this Star Trek or Star Wars? This why does Earth look like Coruscant at night?
Yeah.
Um, uh, Bones calls Carol Marcus sweetheart at one point. Oh hell no.
Yeah.
You
Well,
do not get to call a woman sweetheart unless you are intimately familiar
yeah.
with her, like your girlfriend or your wife or your daughter or your mom. Those are the only people you can call sweetheart, not a science officer on your damn ship.
Granted, the Bones from the original series isn't far off
Don't
from
care.
doing that sort of thing, but you can update it for the
Mm-hmm.
times.
The idea that they just left that in there is like, oh my God,
Yeah.
how tone deaf are you? I guess we can just say, I like this one sentence because okay, we should talk about Scotty because he leaves because he refuses to go fight, go off to threaten the Klingons to have anything to do with this mission, which is what Kirk should have done as well. Kirk is just not acting like a captain at all through
Well,
99% of this movie.
he's hell bent on revenge for one
Mm-hmm.
thing because they killed Pike, and
Yeah.
so he wants to take out the guy who killed Pike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have Scotty refusing to allow these torpedoes on the ship that close to the warp core without finding out what fuels them
Mm-hmm.
because it could interact with the warp core and blow them up essentially.
Yep.
And he resigns over it, and Kirk agrees. So that's that with Scotty. So Scotty leaves the ship with his little companion. But yeah, I think Scotty's well played here. I
Mm-hmm.
like the moral, line in the sand that he will not
Yes.
cross.
Yes.
It's like it's either the torpedoes or me, and Kirk chooses the torpedo, so off goes Scotty. But yeah, as I like Simon Pegg's performance here. Yeah.
I liked his performance in the first movie too, and I love his performance in the third movie as well. Um, the interesting thing is because Scotty is not there, which is so convenient for him to not want to, deal with the torpedoes. And I get that. That actually makes sense. But the
Right.
whole idea that these torpedoes exist does not make sense. And when and Khan gives them some coordinates and he contacts Scotty and says, I need you to go check these out. And when
Right.
Scotty gets there, he finds this hangar with the giant dreadnought shit in it, etc. And he sneaks on to the ship. So
Yeah. We
the
skipped the bit where they went and got Khan from Kronos,
yeah, I don't
which
care.
is the scene you liked with Uhura.
Yes.
And there's an action scene with uh Khan doing his kick-ass augment fighting with a giant chain gun of a laser thing, and then a little holdout too.
Yeah.
So
I
exciting shootout.
I feel like Cumberbatch kind of missed his calling as an action hero. I think he can.
He's good here. I mean, imagine a lot of it's a stunt double, but I
Yeah, there
think,
is, but there's a lot of close-up stuff that's definitely him, and I don't know why he has
yeah,
90s emo hair, but whatever.
he looks towards the end of the film like Gary Newman, like current era Gary Newman. The longer hair that's in the face.
Hmm.
Like, I guess there's video of Gary Newman in a record store just going through records and pulling them out and talking about them in his very adorable neurodivergent kind of way, just
Yeah.
and talking about who he's worked with and who he hasn't, and being kind of brutally honest about some of them.
Mm, fair enough. Well,
Uh,
the reason why I bring up Scotty, not only because, he's cool, but this is the sentence that I wrote because Scotty is able to basically mess up the dreadnought so that it can't completely destroy the Enterprise. And I put in RoboCop got hacked.
yeah,
That's what I wrote down
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm a weirdo. Also, there's McCoy reanimating a dead Tribble. Why?
And just so ham-fisted of a
Why is
line
there
because
a Tribble?
they're in this middle of a scene, and just out of nowhere, Kirk asks McCoy, "What are you doing with that tribble?" It's like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
injecting him with this augment blood. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why?
Why are you injecting a dead tribble? He's like, oh, because it has regenerative properties. Okay. Does that mean if we kill Khan, he'll come back? He's like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Just all of a sudden there's a Tribble. Have you all learned nothing about Tribbles? The fuck do you have a Tribble for?
Yeah. It's
Jesus
like, and you're
Christ.
going to resurrect this tribble, and then you're going to have many, many tribbles.
Yeah, because they're born pregnant.
Yeah.
So what else did I write?
I don't know.
Let's see. I put on I put down as far as John Harrison slash Khan, he's defeated by his own arrogance.
Well, typical. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what happens to Khan in any universe.
And that is also kind of what happens to RoboCop because he gets his head squished like a grape.
Yeah, like that scene out of Daredevil with the
Hmm.
Kingpin.
Yep. And then I wrote down seat belts because
Yeah,
we
we
see
see
seat
seatbelts.
belts again. Thank you for having seat belts.
Stop animation seatbelts.
Yeah, I mean it's just like that makes sense. There should be seat belts in case of you losing your artificial gravity.
It is kind of fun how they work kind of like a Gumby video when they deploy.
They're better in Star Trek
It's
Beyond.
like tunk 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 in this kind of stutter step kind of
Yeah.
formation.
Well, that's because they're not like one piece of thing. It's like
Yeah.
segmented so that it can
Hmm.
go back into the chair easier.
Yep.
So, but yeah, they had those in Star Trek Beyond too, and I just really appreciated it. And there was something that you said towards the end. Do you remember what it was?
No.
You said, "This is Starship Troopers."
Oh, it was because they're all Nazi dressed.
Yes.
Especially when they're on the planet, when Spock's going after Khan after Kirk went into the warp drive to kick it back into place.
The warp core.
Warp core, yeah.
Yeah, that's another. Okay, so let's talk a bit about most my biggest pet peeve about this
Okay.
movie, and I have a lot, but this is the one. Um, so Kirk dies,
Uh-huh.
and Spock has an over-the-top reaction that I don't think is warranted.
Uh-huh. He gets to do the Khan
Yeah,
line.
and that bothers me. It feels out of character. It feels wrong.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go take care of Khan. So he just decides to leave the ship and get in the shuttle and go down to wherever Khan is. And during that time, the Tribble reanimates. Oh, Tribble's back alive, and so
Hmm.
uh basically they contact Spock and say, we need him alive, we need his blood. No, you don't. You have 72 fucking augments on this ship
Yeah.
already.
You have an overabundance of augment blood.
Mm-hmm.
Thaw one of the other guys out. They have the
Mm-hmm.
same magic blood as Khan does.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need Khan alive.
Mm-mm.
You could blast Khan from orbit if
Mm-hmm.
you wanted to.
Well, the ship was kind of, also falling
Yeah,
into
that's true.
into the
Which
fucking
was a hell of a scene. And you
planet.
kept going, why is there fire? Why is there smoke?
Yeah, it's like, do you run
Why are
this
the
ship on
nacelles
coal?
smoking?
The nacelles are smoking. Are you using coal to fuel?
Yeah,
It's
so
just, it's just things like that that just irritate
I
me.
guess there could be electrical fires, but yeah.
That's true. That's true. But in the
Um,
nacelles, I don't know. I'm gonna let that one go because it's the thing is that there could be ways to explain that, but there is no way to explain why they couldn't have taken augment blood from any one of those other augments.
yeah, they had an overabundance of augment
Yeah,
blood.
and
They, yeah.
yeah, the first time I watched this, they're like, "Oh, get one of those augments to sick bay," and then he opens it up, and I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna get the blood from that augment." He's like, "Yeah, now take this person out and put Jim in there before we can't reanimate him." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "You what?"
Well, they could have done both. They could have taken the guy out, put Kirk in, and got the blood from the guy they took out. It's
Mm-hmm.
that simple.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need Khan's blood.
Mm-mm. They really, 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 really don't. And of course, that final scene when not Pike, Kirk is talking to the assemblance of Nazis, that is very Starship Troopers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very,
when
very
he's
Starship
doing his
Troopers.
speech and everybody's in their Nazi uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Ugh, just no.
do you want to know more? Uh,
The thing with Starship Troopers is that they're fascists. You
yep.
absolutely know they're fascists. And that's the thing. That's the problem that I have with Kirk in this movie is that he's so hell-bent on revenge that he is not a Starfleet officer. He is
Oh,
not a Starfleet captain. He is
oh,
just a guy out to get revenge.
granted, he does relent and follow through with Spock's recommendation.
Yeah, but it
Instead
takes a
of
hell of a long
taking
time.
Khan out, he has Khan surrender, which is a thing that happened in all the movies at this time. You had The Dark Knight with the Joker surrendering.
Mm-hmm.
You had Avengers with Loki surrendering. This is just a thing. You had, was it Skyfall where the
Mm,
villain surrendered?
I don't
So he's
remember.
brought to MI6.
Mm-hmm.
Javier Bardem as whatever
Javier
character he is
Bardem.
playing.
Was that Skyfall or was that the one after Skyfall? I don't remember. They all just kind of blend
I
together
think
in
it
my
was
brain.
Skyfall because he had a particular desire to kill
Mm,
M,
mm,
and that's when they ended up at Skyfall. So
right.
yeah, that was Skyfall. So that's like four movies where the villain surrenders so they can carry out their plan from inside. So it was just kind of a trope at the time.
It really was.
What was that?
I said it really was.
Oh, it
Sorry.
really was. Okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of barely caught that.
A trope.
A trope, yes. Uh, Into darkness, my non-friend. We had to watch you again.
Oh my,
Your
please
script
stop.
is written on the bathroom stalls.
Please stop it.
I
Please.
am appalled.
please.
It's the sound of sucking.
that that sounded nothing like the sound of silence. Like not even a little.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hate this movie. There are aspects of it that I enjoy, but overall, I think it's terrible.
There's some good action segments. The time when the ship's falling into Earth's orbit, though it's weird that it just suddenly happens.
Hmm.
It's like, what, did you have your anti-Earth's orbit thrusters on?
Yeah, and
Or
also,
were
do
you
don't you
already in orbit?
don't you
Yeah.
have like isn't the outside of your ship, doesn't that have like a heat shield?
Yeah, all the little plates were just flying off of it.
Mm,
But they had great gimbals, like when they're running down the hall and the hall turns on them and they're running up
yeah.
the side of the wall. Very cool scene there. You get that bit where Chekhov comes and grabs them and they're all dangling like a barrel of monkeys. But we never see how they get back on the railing.
Mm-mm.
They just skip to the next scene where they're all okay. It's like, how did he pull them back up? Did the ship turn and they kind of fell back onto the railing and were able to climb their way up? It was nice seeing railings though.
It was nice seeing railings, but railing deaths are also a thing.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot of people died in this. People getting egressed, sucked
Hmm.
out, the holes in the ship. Klingons getting killed in that firefight. People in the archive building dying. There's a huge body count in this movie.
Yeah, and all because some racist asshole with a tiny dick decided he wanted to exterminate Klingons.
Because another Badmiral.
Hmm.
And it just goes to show how sometimes Starfleet's the bad guy. And this is one of
Yeah.
those that indicates that.
Yeah. I wouldn't call their Pike a Badmiral, but I wouldn't call him the best and brightest
Well,
either.
I'm talking about Marcus, but
I know that.
yeah,
I know that.
But Pike protecting Kirk
Mm,
just stinks to high heaven.
yeah.
Especially when we're kind of looking around today at people that are getting protected from the consequences of their actions.
Hmm.
That it's just there's an injustice there. It's like
Yeah.
he violated the rules, he lied on a report, and he's bumped down to commander
Should have been
and
busted down
made
to ensign.
Pike's first officer.
Well, he was supposed to be someone else's first officer, but they
Oh
had
yeah,
a
he was
pressing,
gonna
more
be
pressing
somebody.
matter.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on the Bradbury.
Yeah, Bradbury as a first officer after that.
Hmm.
And that
Yeah.
was a punishment. It's like, oh, you're a first officer, something you should have been earlier in to begin with. And that he was so wet-eyed and upset and petulant about being told, put in his place, which actually his place would be Starfleet Academy, but that's beside the point. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I There's not much else to talk about. I mean, I talked about liking the action. Oh, there's the bit where Kirk gets, I guess, basically a fire hose and throws it into the intake of this ship, this gunship. That was cool,
That was good.
as scenes go. And then him and Khan looking at each other, and then Khan transporting, which was weird. He transported like all the way to Kronos.
Yeah,
And I
how
guess
does that happen?
in dialogue, they say something about a special transporter that's able to do that thing. But again,
No,
it's kind of hand wavy,
nope,
red matter description of
mm-mm,
something just to get the plot moving.
nope. You can't beam somebody to another fucking planet.
Yeah.
I mean, just anyway.
Yeah, especially with that level of accuracy.
Hmm.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, we're done. I'm not gonna
You
talk
think
about
so?
this anymore. I don't want to talk about it
You're
anymore.
done?
I'm
All right.
done. I've expressed all of my feelings and I don't need to go over any other parts of this movie. Um,
Well, we've got one little thing, Sulu with his speech
oh, there is that. Yeah.
where he threatens Khan in
Mm-hmm.
a very convincing manner, and then McCoy's like, "Remind me, Mr. Sulu, to never piss you off."
Mm-hmm.
So it was great. We have 72 missiles pointed at your head, basically. So surrender now or be destroyed. That was a
Yeah.
nice moment. So a little bit from Sulu I enjoyed.
Yeah. And it just made me miss Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
He was so good in that.
It's a underrated series. I think a
Very
lot of
much.
people didn't like it because it didn't measure up to the anime, but do you expect it to? I mean,
I
doing
think
a
it
live
was
action anime is like a really tall order to begin with.
I think that was a great adaptation.
Yeah.
So, but apparently, what do I know?
Mm,
So, okay, let's figure out what we're doing next because I want to leave this one behind.
okay.
So here we go. Get my thingy up here. The hell's my phone? There it is. All right. So let's see if maybe for the first time we can hit a TOS episode. I'm not holding my breath, but it could happen. Okay. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 954. 610, so definitely not New Trek, definitely not TOS, somewhere in the middle. 610. I have to write it down. 610. There we go. Okay, and now patiently wait while I scroll. Here we go. I'm going to guess it's like Deep Space Nine or maybe Voyager. 610. It is Voyager. It
Back to Voyager.
is. Yeah, it is season 7, episode 6, which is called Inside Man.
Inside Man.
Inside Man. And it's actually just one after Critical Care, which we did a while back.
Critical Care.
Remember when we did Critical Care?
Yeah, it seems like we're getting a lot of season 7 of Voyager. We keep running on
Let's
that one.
see.
You must have a lot of them grayed out in that arena.
Not as many as you think. Let me go back to it. Let's see. 1, 2. Nope, that was a different season. So 1, 2, 3 in season 7.
Okay, so this is our third.
This is our third.
All right.
So yeah, there you go, guys. Next
Okay,
week,
back to Voyager.
Voyager, Inside Man, season 7, episode 6. Dave, do you have things you want to tell people or what?
Recently shared my Bandcamp Halloween playlist on Blue Sky. It's kind of weird because I did an Apple update to my computer and suddenly I couldn't link from my computer, so I had to do it through my phone.
Weird.
Blue Sky is also doing an October Music Sky Music Challenge, which is fun because there's a different prompt each day. It's kind of like Inktober, but for music.
Nice.
So I've been having fun posting songs of the day for whatever prompt that day happens to be. We have the YouTube channel, DJ Evil Dave. You have Blue Sky, DJ Evil Dave. We're on Hear This. If you don't like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can listen to us directly from Hear This. It's under Shield Modulation, I do believe. It might be under DJ Evil Dave too, now that I think about it. I might have it posted under that name. But basically, if you look up DJ Evil Dave, you're probably going to find me, even on Tumblr.
Excellent. Well, I don't really like social media, but if you want to try and throw something at me, you can find me on Blue Skies Brandywine. Also, I'm on Instagram as just my name, Brandy Jackola, all one word. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So,
Right.
yeah. All right. Ooh, I am exhausted. and so thanks for joining us for our
second movie.
Our second movie and my worst nightmare as far as Star Trek goes.
Yeah, it's all up from here by you.
Yep. That is for me. There
I don't know,
is
Star Trek 5 might be
yeah, that's one above
difficult.
this. That's one that's like I would watch Star Trek 5 again before I watched this again.
And considering our
So-
other one was Nemesis, which is also reviled by most folks.
It's actually very good. It's
I
not
wouldn't
it's
say
not
very
terrible.
good. I'd say it's not as bad as people say.
I would say it's good for what the content of what the plot was.
Right.
You know? So
Well, seeing a young Tom Hardy is always fun.
seeing Tom Hardy period is always fun.
Yep.
So all right, folks, we'll talk to you again next week. So live long and prosper, live logs and proper, and go watch some Star Trek.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Skilla.
Skilla.